Hi everyone, welcome back to Job One for All. In this video we are going to talk about map, more precisely HashMap and LinkedHashMap. Now we are just using some pictures from Google right here. So we spoke about list, we spoke about set, and now we are talking about map. And basically we are going to talk about the LinkedHashMap and one that's not here, that's the HashMap. Okay, going back to our code. Google, don't listen to me. So basically, we are going to start creating a new class, Java class, call it map test01, PSVM, and the structure is basically the same. We are still working with interfaces as references and object pointing to that interface. And the interface for maps are map. Basically, if you go here, you will see that this is just an interface. Okay, go up here, there you go. So public interface, and we have here this K and V. Remember, every time we have a letter, it means that this letter is going to be replaced by a class. And the K represents the key and V represents the value. Basically, maps are key value mappings. Pretty straightforward. That's why we have to give two objects here, or classes. Which one do we want to use? What do we want to have inside this map? What would be the type of the key and what would be the type of the values? So let's say that we are working creating a quick dictionary, and the key will be string and the value will also be string. Let's call it map, and then one of the object that we can use is HashMap. As you know, hash in the name means that we are relying on hash, and of course we are using string and they provide us the equals and hash code. But if you are working with your own object, make sure that you have equals and hash code implemented. Okay, so now how can we add values? For example, we were using so far the add for set and for lists. Basically, you just call it and say add, and then you have value. But with map is put, and it's asking for key and value. So for example, if we say you are supposed to write keyboard, or should be mouse, or should be you. Basically, key value mapping. We have a key that represents the wrong word and the value that represents the possible correct word. Now, if you just print and call the toString of this entire reference map, you will get both value, key value pairs displayed in your console. So key, 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 value, value, value. But you have to be careful with the first thing that we have to know about maps. The keys, they are distinct. You cannot have duplicated keys, but this behavior is different from the set. The set, if you try to add something that it's already in the collection, it's going to just ignore. But if you are trying to do the same with map, you will see that it's going to replace. So basically, if you are passing the same key, the new value with a different value, the new value will be the one associated with that key. Okay, how can we actually avoid that? We have but only if absent, and then you will see that you will still be the same. So basically this checks if the value is already there. You can check the implementation. So basically, if it's already there, it will add to the map. Now, as you can see, if we change the key, it's going to reorder because this is based on the hash. If you want to keep the order of insertion, you can use LinkedHashMap. It will keep the order of insertion still using hash and still a map. Cool. William, how can we actually get the values? How can we iterate over? Because this looks like complicated. We were working with collections and we only had one value, but now suddenly we have key and value pairs. Let's start with the most simple way. We know how to use for each. And we have to decide three things. First, do we want the key, do we want the values, or do we want both of them? So let's say that we want to go over all the keys. We have a method called keySet that's going to return a set of the same type as we have our key. Why is it a set? Because remember, you cannot have duplicated keys. That's why you know for sure that whatever is returned is a set. So this key set is going to return a set of string, and you know how to work with set of string. Basically, just add here string, and we have the possibility of iterating over the entire map and get all the keys. Now, if you have the key, of course, you can get the value back. And to get the value back, you can easily call the map and say, hey map, give me the key get object key, and it's going to return a string that represents the value. So I'm calling the map that we created here. And the key will be this one. So now you're going to see key value pairs. So pretty straightforward. And we can also do the same for values. But values, there is no easy way to just get the key back. Usually you go from key to value, but it's also possible to get from value to key, but it's not that straightforward. And basically you just call map.values. As you can see, it's a collection of string because it can have duplicated values, and not necessarily it will be a list. And here we have value. And let's just print the values. So you don't have like a method to get a key based on the value, because for example, you could have the same value, u and u, and you have to figure out, for example, for which key you are talking about. So it's usually better to go from key to value. Now, what if you want both? What if you want, for example, to get from 1-4 both key and value pairs? The map will give to us what we call entry set. So this entry set is returning, and this looks weird, is basically a set, is a collection of this entry. Entry is like, you can think as entry as like a map with key value, where the key value will be exactly what you have here, key value pairs. So let's see how it works. The syntax is a bit weird the first time you see it, but you should call map dot entry. So this is the reference type, and the key and values, they are both string and string. They just copy here, and you can give any name, and just call mappy dot entry set. What's the difference? The difference is that now from this entry I have both the value and the key. Here I was getting the value from the reference variable, passing the key. Honestly, technically works the same way. Entry dot get key, and here we have entry dot get value. So basically from this reference we have access to both key and value, and key and value. So basically this is the map. You have to remember that key value pairs, you have to define the type. If it's HashMap, it's not going to store the order that you are inserting. If you want to keep the order, change to LinkedHashMap. And if you use but and the key already exists, the new value, even if it's the same, it will be the one replacing the old one. but if absent, it is going to check if it's there already before trying to insert this value. So basically that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Let's continue in the next video. Bye.